My name is Yvette, and I'm known by NuMoney's mom. My Instagram is MamaNu1019. Y'all need to come check out this segment so you could know what it is to walk in the shoes of losing a loved one.
Welcome to another episode of Blonde Gold Podcast, where we cover everything from the come up to the bust down. Today I got my special co-host in the building, Calvin,
What's
aka
going on, guys?
4C. And we have our special guest, Yvette, aka New Money Mom.
Hey.
Thank you for coming.
No, thanks for having me.
So we usually start every episode what we call a drip check. Show us your ice and tell us the price.
This is priceless. You see this? This is my son.
Tell us more about the piece.
My son was murdered and 11 years ago. And then Nick and Rob Blancos Go decided to make a piece of him. It's not the first one. Okay, this one on the money. It's my son from, this is the same hat that he wore in the coffin. So yeah, looks just like him from the side, the front way, his nose. So this was a gift from them, and it was amazing. It was amazing.
You have any more jewelry you want to highlight?
Oh yeah. I got a ring. I'm married to myself. Diamonds, you see all around. Yeah, I got this for myself.
You want to give the people a little backstory about you?
Okay, well, I'm known. My name is Yvette, and I'm known by Mama New Money's mom, because my son's name was New Money. I'm an anti-gun advocate for Not Another Child, for family members and children who was murdered to gun violence. I go out and I speak at the White House. And every time I go, I take my chain. Wherever I go, I take my chain with me because I feel safe. And I know that I'm doing what I'm doing for a good cause. So this chain alone means a lot to me. But I am an anti-gun advocate. I'm against guns.
What do you typically do at these events?
I speak out. I also not only speak out at events and tell them what we do for Not Another Child, and different organizations that I do work with. How can I say? I go to people's homes after their children is murdered, and I get to speak with them. I help them with the funeral arrangements. I actually had two people when I did their makeup and fixed their hair, and that's when I knew that I have a heart, but then I knew I didn't have a heart no more. It was just, I had to be strong for that family, for any family that I deal with, as to dressing them, doing their makeup. That was a field that I never thought I would be in. This is a team that I never thought I would be in.
Okay.
So being able to help another family, it means a lot.
All right. For those of you that don't know, she actually raised my brother and I after our father died. So we know how impactful her son's life was. He was like a brother to us. But do you want to touch on how impactful he was to maybe the community and the city overall?
Yeah. He was very special to a lot of people. A lot. We all grew up in the same home, whether it was the kitchen, the living room, wherever they slept, we slept. Like he said, he's actually my uncle. But we'll slash the uncle out. That's my son and Rob. Nuno had a heart of gold. For a small little tiny person that he was, he had a heart of gold. He made sure that his friends was good, his family was good. He would never leave his friends on the street. He didn't care. He would bring them home. whether they had to sleep on the sofa, an air mattress, or with him. As long as his friends was good and they finished school, that was his main thing. Y'all gonna go to school, finish school. So when y'all move out my mom's house, y'all got something going forward for yourself. He was loved by many people, and his murder, it really hurt a lot of people in my community. They say legends never die. Well, that's my son, because he's never forgotten. He's always being talked about. Anywhere I go and I say, who's my son? They're like, oh my God, Nunu's mom, NuMoney's mom. But he helped out in his community, and that was something big for me. Him giving back to his community, and I continue that legacy on giving back to my community.
Yeah, I would say he was mostly known for being really good at basketball and definitely known for his music.
Mm-hmm.
And we also know that you got a street renamed after him in his neighborhood. How did you pull that off?
Had to get sign-ins, people to sign, write letters. But with that being said, I had someone who I was working with, and her name is Deidre, and she was working out of the councilman's office, and her and Elizabeth and Steve Levin, they did not stop until they said, this is what you want, you're gonna get it, and I got it.
How far after the grieving process did you feel like being an activist was your calling?
It took some time. It took some time. It really did. It wasn't overnight. I had to crawl and walk to get where I was at, and I remember going to just go sit at a meeting with another mother and her group, and I was like, oh, hearing these mothers, I wouldn't talk. I did not talk. It took me a good about 2 years. When I went on a retreat, that's when I realized, like, this is my calling. This is really my calling, and it helps me heal. It really does.
That must be like a really good feeling, like seeing your son's like name influence so many people.
Yeah.
Through you, through your actions, through what you do,
Mm-hmm.
making a positive influence on, a lot of other people, a lot of different families.
It does. It really does. I also wrote a book. It's called Coping with Grief and Loss of Your Perfect Child. He was different from all my children. He was different. I mean, I never had to, not a birthday, nothing. He would always run in. Even if it's 11:59, he would run in with roses and just the little things of him kissing me on my forehead. So that really touched me. It's been 11 years. I actually have a little daughter, and she's 11. So he was murdered March. She was born May. She taught me how to love again, because I said I didn't want no other baby. I didn't want to be a mother again. I was lost. I mean, he took a part of me when he left.
Okay, now you're talking about your other daughter. What's so significant about her and what she's doing?
She saved me and I saved her. Gia came into my life when my son was murdered after a few months. I was actually her godmother, then I became her mom. And she always said when she was little, you know that kid in the picture? You know what he said? I'm gonna rap, I'm gonna follow his dream. And I said, no, you're not. And to be honest, here I am a few years later, and I'm a mom manager. Mm-hmm. My daughter's rapping. Her first song was a tribute to DJ K-Slay. And when she told me, I said, what? You ain't rapping. She said, yeah, just take me to the studio. Just come on, let's go to the studio. And then somebody called me and was like, I heard her rap. Can you come to the studio? And I was like, she don't rap. Get out of here. Well, baby, she fooled me. Because here we are now. She's actually did a whole album. She did her last song the other day. And it's actually finally today 2 of her songs dropped on Spotify, Apple.
What's her rap name and the name of the album?
Well, her name is Young Gigi. When she first started, she went as Gigi underscore G Money. She wanted to continue his name, New Money, but not that I didn't want her to do that. I wanted her to think of herself. Don't use him. Don't put his name in nothing. So then we came up with Young Gigi.
Yeah, I understand that because she's talented. You don't want people to attribute her success to
Yes.
being the sibling of a
Exactly.
successful rapper.
But I can, like, sometimes I'll tell her, like, you don't have to mention him. But whenever she starts, she's like, forever New Money. So that's when everybody's like, how she knows him. And then they'll ask her and she'll say, that's my brother.
And she actually has a song pertaining to gun violence, right?
Yes, it's called NAC, Not Another Child.
Yeah, and she performs that at a lot of gun violence events, and this is actually a
Yes.
hit. So where could they find it and listen to it?
They can go to her Instagram, actually. You can go on there and put it in. Her Instagram is YUNG underscore GIGI. But if you look on Spotify, it will still be under GG underscore G Money.
We'll have her tags in our description as well too, so you guys
Yeah.
can just click that.
Yeah. I can honestly say when I go to these events, they always ask me about my chain.
Yeah.
And they always ask me, and I don't like no one to touch it. But sometimes they be like, can I see if it's heavy? And I'm like, yeah, it got weight, you know. I'll let them touch it, but then I go home and I just bless it with some holy water because not everybody is good for what they want to touch it for. But it really keeps me going. And when I'm feeling sad, I just look at it and I just take it off and I look and I be like, sometimes I can't understand why my son, but my little daughter keeps me going.
Do you have any advice that people who are dealing with loss of a loved one through the violence?
You're not alone. You're not alone. You can find an organization. You don't have to pick one. You can continually go to different ones so you know where you fit at. It took me some time and like 4 different ones, and finally I got with Orisa Napa Williams. And then I was thinking about doing my own organization called A Mother's Silent Scream. But I took a step back because I really want to help my daughter do her career. But that doesn't stop me from doing what I got to do. I would like families. My son's murder broke up my home because every Sunday we would have dinner. We will always all come together. And when my son died, it's like everything just fell apart. I can't remember. We're talking about 11 years now. I can't remember the last time that we had a dinner in my home. So it broke up my home. It broke up the connection I had with my children. And when I just say my children, I'm talking about all my children that lived with me. I raised them.
As Gia grows in the music industry and becomes more successful, do you ever worry about her safety? Do you feel like she might be targeted like Nuna was at some point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My fear is to lose one of my other children.
Yeah. So what keeps you motivated and supporting her? Is it that you
I don't
see
want
the
to
vision?
I don't want to let her down. I just tell her we got to be very careful where we go. I don't like to post it all the time, but I have to if I want to get her out there. You know?
Can't live in fear, yeah.
Yeah, I can't. You know. I always worry about, and at night I pray and I ask God, I won't be able to take another hit, losing another kid, because I wouldn't know what to do.
We know a lot of known celebrities showed support for Nunu in his passing. Has any of those celebrities showed support for Gia?
No.
No, not yet. Maybe not yet. But, you know, me.
Well, I feel like it takes one song or one little bit of song and tag her, and you will see how far I'm pretty sure she would have got already. I I didn't get no support from none of them anyway. And when I'm typically talking about no support, not a call, no flowers sent to the funeral, nothing. So I was really disappointed, and I still am. I mean, I sometimes see them and they just act like, oh, hey, Mama Newt, like, I'm just, and that hurts me because he used to run. They used to call, he used to run. But I guess not everyone is your friend.
Now, how could these parents or relatives find you if they need like someone to talk to?
Yeah, they can always hit me up. They can go to my Instagram, Mama Newt. I would say this, if they want to get in touch with me, you can always reach out to one of my boys and they would give you my number. I don't have a problem talking to a mother. I actually met a mother, to tell you this. She found me through looking up just murders and stuff, and in Florida, because that's where her daughter, 14 years old, was murdered 2 months ago. And she reached out to me on Facebook. And I was able to talk to her and let her know, like, I understand you crying and you're going to cry every day, because I cry every day. But that doesn't help them rest. And it will take time. It would take time. Write down your feelings in a book. Write down how you feel. Take walks. And it will help you. And this woman actually called me today and was like, I was able to sleep good last night because I've been talking to you for the last 2 days. And she finally got some sleep.
Now, for those that don't know, what city you from? And Nunu.
We're from Brooklyn, New York. We're from White Claw Projects by Gowanus.
And where did Nunu ended up passing away at?
In Miami.
Miami, Florida, correct?
Yeah, Miami, Florida.
Yeah.
Somewhere where he loved to go.
That's why I put it out there for the viewers that's watching. They might be, from Florida or, New York.
Yeah, he was in Okalaka.
Okalaka? That's like near Little Haiti, right?
Yes. And that's where he was actually kidnapped.
Oh, do you have any advice for maybe like troubled families or teens that are involved in like gangs or gun violence and stuff like that?
Yeah, I work with an organization called Both Sides of the Violence. Her name is Coco. She actually mentored the person that killed her sister. And she works from a prison. I think that not every home is perfect. And we're here 24 hours. We're not here just in the daytime. Not another child. You can just look us up and reach out to us, and we would get right back to you. Like, someone's always on that Instagram. There's a phone number there. Any shoot-ins, we're there.
Now, what signs or indicators should parents look out for to see if their children are at risk for street violence?
I would say this. Never stop being nosy to your children. My son was 18 years old, and I used to be like, 11:59, you have to be here. I do not want to hear nothing. If you're not here by 12 o'clock, you and Ashalik, y'all sleeping right there till I open that door. You got to look. It's okay to look through their phone sometimes. It's okay. When you see your child moving different and seeing them coming home maybe different ways, acting different.
Hanging out with different crowds.
My problem was not letting my son really bring friends home, because I felt like our home was our comfort zone. Nobody needed to know where we live at. Just in case you did something outside, they coming back, and hurt all of us. Because I was the only parent there.
Yeah, for those that don't know him, he actually was in college. So he wasn't fully in the streets. He was just pursuing a music career. So it's not like he was hanging out in the corner every day. He was actively in school.
Yeah, he graduated from high school. He went to college. He was playing basketball. And he played he was the highest point guard in FDR. He played for Stephon Marbury. He played in Coney Island. He played on Dean Street for Gavin Foxy Brown's brother. His face was even up on the back of the 7A precinct in Dean Street Park for a very long time. He even hit the papers. So he was somebody. When you ask Nunu, oh, Nunu from Wyckoff, basketball Nunu, oh yeah. He wasn't just in the street. I think that he trusted too many people, and this is why I tell a lot of families, you gotta be careful. That little girl, 14 years old, the one I'm talking about in Florida, she went with a friend. She was spending the night in a friend's house. The mother was supposed to be watching them. I guess the mother went to sleep, and they snuck out. And they met these boys on Instagram. And they went to the house, and the boy wound up shooting the girl in the head. 14 years old.
Oh, God bless.
They got to be parents. It's okay to be nosy. Even if your children curse you out, it's okay. They'll get over it. But you got to stay on your children. You got to watch everything. My son made a song, and he wound up dying 2 days after that.
I'm sure that a lot of people watching probably want to know, so what ended up happening to his killer?
Nothing. He's still driving around, probably hanging out. He sent a text message that said, I just woke up, I think I'm an old lady, these niggas kidnapped me, with the crying emoji. And then 6 minutes later, he was shot in his head, and the picture was sent out in a group chat that he had on his phone. And they're saying that they couldn't charge no one. It's still under investigation. It's still an open case. It's not a cold case file. I stay on it. I just think that people who he called friends, to this day I said it. Well, his death certificate says a premeditated execution. So I'm pretty sure they know more than what they tell me, because they don't tell you everything. You don't know everything. But I know a lot of people do know what actually happened to my son, because there's always a story out there.
You know, it's crazy. I think mostly about this, that I know you're spiritual and everything like that. I know you practice, religion. And maybe I believe Numa had a part of that, because he actually made a song before his passing as if he kind of had a feeling his time was coming.
I believe that he did know. I do believe that my son knew that he was going to die. He was not going to make it home. And the crazy part is that Kenneth had a journal, and in that journal, one day I decided to pick it up and read it recently. And he said that his teacher asked him, where would you like to go visit, a place that you can't go visit right now? He said, heaven. And what was his last meal? And everything that he said in that note that he wrote, that little paragraph he wrote, was actually everything he ate March 16 of 2013. And the following week, I was told by somebody that he was going to come back in a body bag, and he didn't want to listen to this woman. And sure enough, a week later, my son came back to me in a body bag, just like how the woman told me.
Now, for those curious to find his music, what name could they search him under?
They could go under Rich Mafia, New Money. I mean, I can't change it. I wanted to change it, but I just left it the way it is. His Instagram is Rich Mafia Nunu1. His old Instagram was taken down by the police because I was too nosy, and I finally broke into it, so they took it down. I was never able to get it back. But you're never alone. I mean, you gotta walk these shoes to know what it is to feel how I feel. Because I can smile every day, but I'm broken. I'm broken. And the only thing that keeps me going is my grandchildren and my daughter. And I look at my children like, we're not close how we used to be, but what would it be without me? And I wouldn't want my children to be without me. So I changed my ways, and I decided the other day, like I just told Gigi, like, I think I want to start going to church. Maybe I just need to go to church for a while and get myself together, and then work on doing an organization and have group meetings with teenagers. And the adults, we can find them, but I want to work with the teenagers. I want to work with the young kids that's pulling guns out into schools and being bullied in school. That was, I'll be honest, I was going to do that, but unfortunately, I wind up going another way.
Yeah, and going back to what you were saying about staying in your kids' lives as parents, I think that's like a big problem nowadays. You see kids doing like all sorts of crazy things online, like anything, subway surfing, shooting, drugs. I think parents really need to buckle down and take care of their children, make sure they're not getting into trouble.
I believe sometimes some things come from the home. And one thing was, even now, my kids is grown. I don't want them drink. They don't drink in front of me. They don't smoke it. When you're drinking and partying with your kids, they think it's a joke. But when they leave your home, you raise your children. When they leave your home, you don't know what they're doing. You got to worry about it. You're right, subway surfing. You got the cops at the door talk about your child just died because he was subway surfing. I'm on my daughter. Follow your children. It's okay to share the location. Share that location. It's okay. It really is.
Do you ever feel worried about your safety?
Yeah, all the time.
Now, as far as wearing jewelry, do you ever feel concerned when you're outside wearing your jewelry?
No.
Yeah.
But no, I feel like my son is always with me when I got this chain on.
You think you get more love from being his mom or more hate?
Hate.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I get a lot. I get a lot of hate. I mean, I should have a lot of support the way he looked out for his friends and certain people, and I don't. I'm lucky if sometimes they say hi to me, they walk past me, and that hurts me because I open my door to a lot of people, and I don't get no support. I'll get support from everywhere else, but in my community.
Sorry to hear that. Is there anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
I want to say, come shop at Blanco's Gold. You won't be disappointed. You can go online and you can shop there, and they actually deliver the jewelry to you.
Yeah, honor your loved ones, gold, diamonds, whatever you need.
Yes, diamonds, custom, however you want it. And I just want to say, thank you for having me. And if anyone needs help as pertaining help with their children, they're having issues with their children, you can reach out to Not Another Child, both sides of the violence, Life Camp.
Tap into Gia's music.
Yes, tap into my daughter's music. Her Instagram, once again, is YUNG_GIGI. And her music is GG_G-Money. And support my daughter and her music, because everything is positive. Anything that she's talking about is positive.
All right, so we usually wrap up every segment, what we call dropping a gem. Mm-hmm. You could either drop a gem or we could drop a gem.
You could.
You got one, Cal, or you want me to drop one?
I got nothing to do.
Let me see, hold on.
We got a list.
Because I forget. So let's see what we got today. Pressure can either make diamonds or burst pipes.
Ow.
Thanks for tuning in. Bosco.
Appreciate you guys.
Bling.